Hi, everybody. I want to make one correction, actually. I will kiss your cat.
I was just going to.
If you break.
I was late, and I didn't quite hear. I said, Sean, what did they say we can't do? And she said, we're not allowed to kiss their kids.
I didn't say you're not allowed. I said they're not allowed to ask
okay.
right now.
Yeah.
You can kiss them all. Like they,
Yeah, if
we'll
you
do
brought
that.
your cat,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, we're
it's
going to
different.
be all over it. In fact.
Welcome to Richmond. Not
Nice
your
to
first
be here.
time. I know that. Not your first time.
Not my first time either.
And not your first rodeo. You have a special connection to Richmond. Is that correct? Let's hear about that.
I do. And this is going to date me. In 1982, I was a Richmond Brave. For 9 days, all on the road.
9 glorious days.
And then on a home opener, when we came back from the road, they traded me to the, you know what?
Somewhere else, not here.
Another team.
Yeah.
But
Are they still here? The Richmond Braves?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. Who's it? Who is it?
Squirrels?
But what organization?
Giants.
Giants, squirrels.
Giant squirrels.
I mean, they really let you know where you stand in AAA with you're a squirrel. You could become a giant.
It sounds formidable, doesn't it? Squirrels.
I don't want to be a squirrel.
I don't understand sports, but I like the squirrels part. All right. So, Richmond things.
A lot of nuts. It involves a lot of nuts.
Yeah. Richmond things. Have you gotten out of the convention center at all, or have we just chained you to your tables? Like, have you been out eating? Have you been enjoying the city? Any plans to do so?
Had some nice dinners.
Oh, good.
But we don't get out during the day too much.
Yeah.
So it's like we come in and we're working here during the day, and then so it's usually just it's like that a lot on the road. You find some nice restaurants, but it's hard. It's often difficult to actually see the sights of a city or the landmarks and things like that.
Yeah, we get to know the airports very well. We know which
Correct.
airports we hate, and that's all of them. So we will talk about Gilmore Girls. Obviously.
I ate a lot of meat.
Yeah.
I don't have
expand
Tourette's.
on that.
I don't have Tourette's, but when I'm on the road, I eat a lot of meat.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite Richmond meat you'd like to discuss?
I like steak.
Okay. Perfect. We are going to try to keep things Gilmore Girls centric, so questions we'll try to keep in the Gilmore Girls realm just so everyone's involved. I'm going to start that off a little bit. So I would love to hear about your process to booking Gilmore Girls. So the audition process and all of that. How was that for each of you?
Oh man, it was very different. I think for Scott than it was for me. I auditioned to do one day. It was the first episode after the pilot, so the pilot had already been shot, but it had not aired yet. So I'd never heard of the show, and it was a one-day role as a DSL installer. For you kids out there, that's a person that used to come into your home and hook you up so that you could have the internet. Anyway, I auditioned. My agent at the time wanted me to pass on the audition and not even go in because it was just a one-day role, and I was kind of, it's just stupid industry stuff. But I was like, let me read the scene, and if it seems fun, I'll do it. And I read the scene, and I thought the writing was good, and I'm like, this is a fun little bit. And so I went in, and I booked the part, went in, did my scene with Lauren, had a great time. And then that was it. I was like, okay, on to the next thing, and was auditioning. And then a couple weeks later, I got a call from my manager saying, hey, Gilmore Girls is going to book you again on another episode. I'm like, how is that possible? Why do they want the DSL installer back?
Cable wasn't working.
And I came back to be a delivery guy. I was delivering swans, and I'm like, no one ever told me what was going on, but so I was just like, okay, I'm doing this. I didn't know if it was the same character or if I hadn't seen the show yet. It wasn't even on. So I'm like, is it a Groundhog Day situation where she keeps seeing different people? Am I the same guy? I have no idea. But rather than asking like an adult with a job should do, I was like, I don't want to get fired. I'm just going to show up and do the job again. And so I did that, and by the third or fourth time that they invited me back on the show, I later learned that that Amy had really liked what I did, and when they came to the delivery guy, they said, she saw some actors audition and didn't like them, and said, I want a guy like that guy who played the DSL installer. And Jamie Rudofsky, one of the casting directors, bless her heart, said, "Why don't you just hire that same guy again?" And Amy thought about it and thought that was a pretty funny idea, and so just had me keep coming back, and so it's like it kind of just goes to show you, you know. And I had auditions for really good jobs. It's not like I wasn't doing anything. I was like booking pretty decent roles on shows that were either the show wouldn't last or it was just a one-time character. And in my head, I'm thinking I'm about to break through in some other capacity on a sitcom or whatever. And instead, this little show that I thought was just a little thing I was going to do one day on ends up being the thing that now, you know, over a quarter of a century later, you know, that you all are here now. It's pretty amazing. So, yeah, that's it. That's my lengthy story.
I just realized something. The people that got up and left are probably vegans because I shouted out, I eat steak, and there's like huge disappointment. So I eat a lot of vegetables too. Love vegetables. In fact, I had a huge salad last night. I just want to make that clear for everybody out there because I know you're thinking about it. My experience was, yeah, vastly, well, there's a lot of similarities. I went in to read for the Luke part was a guest star in the pilot. That's it. He wasn't a series regular. He was just, but the script began with the diner and it ended with the diner. So my manager said, there's something cooking here. This is a heat check with you and the girl. So the job was actually the final audition because there were only, 3 scenes with Luke in the pilot, right? Of you acquisitive fans. How many scenes? There wasn't a lot of Luke in the pilot. So they could have easily recast and reshot it and at not too great an expense if the chemistry wasn't there. So it was the second audition of the day. I had 3. I was eager to get to the Carmen Electra audition. She was playing a fembot, and I was playing her controller husband. And the script was actually not bad.
That panel will be right after this one, by the way.
So, but that's
I'll just be
ticketed.
watching
That's
that one,
gonna
yeah.
that's gonna be extra. I prepared a scene. The scene they wanted me to prepare. I went in. You know, I had the hat on like this. I had been auditioning for a couple of years and just sort of at that point it was nailing everything and not getting any offers. And once in a while I'd get something, you know, a Will and Grace or something nice. But it wasn't steady work, and it was, you know, hard paying the bills. And I just really was kind of burnt out at that point because I knew I was going to give a good audition, a solid audition, and I knew it was going to be like, we really like him, but, you know, it's not going to work out. He's too tall, he's too short, he's too, you know, whatever. And I did the Carmel, I did that scene, and I said, thanks, bye. And they said, where are you going? I said, well, I got another audition, and I'm going to get a parking ticket. I got to go. And they said, but there's another scene to do. I said, well, I didn't get it. And I looked on the sides, and it said, the second scene said Duke. So I didn't prepare it because, what did I know? There's another character named Duke. There's Luke and Duke. Maybe he's my brother. They want me to play both parts, Siamese twins? I have no idea. It's like Dead Ringers, but like in Stars Hollow. So they said, go out and prepare the scene. Take 5 minutes, come back. I did. I did the scene, and I said, can I go now? Miss Electra is waiting. And by the time I got home, and that was on the west side of L.A., and I lived in West Hollywood at the time, which is like, it's quite something to get through that traffic and get home. And there was a message on my machine waiting that I'd gotten the job, and I'm like, all right, I got a job. Went to Toronto, shot it. After that, and I thought it went pretty well with Lauren, and it just felt natural and great. And then they offered 2 episodes. And my manager said, I'm going to turn it down. I want a 6-year deal. I said, what? Just take it. Just take it. It's work. It's solid. It's a bird in the hand. So she turned it down. And then they offered 4 episodes. I said, please, I'm begging you, take it. This is 4 episodes. I could pay some bills and pay off some debts. She called Gavin Pallone, who was one of the executive producer, along with Amy, and she said, grow a pair, go to Warner Brothers, get the money. You know you want them. A couple weeks later, I said, "You're really going to do that?" She goes, "Because this guy's like, has a reputation. Like he's a very, very smart, very tough negotiator." A couple weeks later, she called me and she goes, "Come to lunch at this location." She had a manila envelope waiting for me. She said, "Open that," when I arrived. And it was a 6-year deal. So it was a good lunch.
Yeah, it's a great lunch.
And the first thing not to say anything about myself, but the first thing I did was calculate what she was going to make off of that contract.
Yep. It's a good lunch for both of you. So before we switch to the audience, I have one more question. The dialogue in the show has this unique, snappy quality to it. It's very quick, back and forth. How was that as an actor? Were there challenges that came with that? Did you settle right into it? Did it take a while to kind of get that banter and that back and forth?
For me, I think it just goes to show what the kind of actors that would end up on the show, the kind of like sort of past and training that they'd had. We ended up with a lot of really good stage actors and people who are good with text, good with dialogue. I always say that I think the reason that I got the job initially when I first read the first scene that I auditioned for was I read it and my brain was like, oh, I get this. This style is like old film comedy, like Howard Hawks or Preston Sturges, Bring Up Baby, Front Page, those old comedies that are really fast dialogue. I sort of recognize that's where this lives sort of tonally, and which is why I was able to kind of understand the material in that way. And I think a lot of the actors were like that. People who got it, who understood the tone, would end up on the show. And people who could memorize lines, a lot of lines quickly.
Lines. Yeah, what about you? Was that a natural cadence for you, or is that something you had to work on?
Yeah, I think anybody that has any kind of theater training is used to memorizing chunks of dialogue, because that's all theater is, it's words. And I didn't have a huge theater background, but I started out in New York training, and then I had a theater company, and we did a lot of plays. And so yeah, the text was never a challenge. And especially this text, because it was so easy to remember, it was so easy to commit it to memory with just maybe a little bit of repetition, because the writing was so elevated. It always had this emotional logic to it that you sort of inherently understand if you're at all conscious or have any level of craft. So I can't emphasize this enough. The writing was such a gift because you don't see that a lot. You can go years without seeing a script like that. I had as much fun and as much of a thrill reading that script as I did, any Tarantino script. Because if you read Tarantino's scripts before the producers or the studio gets involved in it, they're unbelievably great. Because I like to read a lot of scripts. I go into the archives at the Writers Guild and I read scripts, like the old scripts.
I love this hobby.
Yeah.
Just eating steak and
Well,
reading scripts. Yeah, I love this. I'm here for this. And a salad.
That's what
and
I
a salad.
do, babe.
Yeah.
So I roll. It's like I didn't get a lot of dates. You want to go eat some steak and read some scripts, and they're like, and then I found the one, and she did. And
Yeah,
it's
I was like,
been
they're
great.
out
Yeah. But it's really just comes down to the writing. We were lucky enough to be chosen. Really lucky.
Yeah, the dialogue is really outstanding. You guys deliver it really beautifully. And I think it's time. You have been waiting so patiently. All right, we will take some audience questions. Please step up and say your name and ask your question.
Hi, is this on? Yeah.
It is.
Okay, hi, my name is Mildred Green, and you did a great segue. My question was about the writing, but I wanted to ask, how much of that was improv? How much of that did you improv?
None. No,
That's
no,
awesome.
no, zero.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not a syllable.
Not even a comma. No pauses. No. It's got to be word perfect. You could do an entire page monologue. If you drop a word, you're doing it again.
All right, thank you.
Which is good because at least you know the standard, right? That's like, here's the bar. That's good.
My dancing was improvised. That's about it.
Sorry, I have a million questions for Sean, but really this one is for Scott at the moment. We don't have the time, and it's supposed to be
You
one.
say that to all the guys, don't you?
Everyone.
You're smooth.
Thank you. Scott, I feel like Luke has such this chemistry with Luke's diner, but we don't see that many shots of him cooking. But we do get a lot of shots of like Sookie in her like kitchen. It feels like two kitchen like worlds that the Lorelai gets to like live in, but we never really get to see them like interlock. We never get to see like a Sookie or Luke kitchen competition moment, which we know Sookie would absolutely destroy. But we just don't get to see that compatibility. She's an amazing chef. I would live in Luke's diner for the rest of my life. I would love it. However, dietary constrictions, I think Melissa McCarthy plays an amazing chef that is hands down, she works for a whole hotel versus a hometown community cafe that serves great food.
I can't tell if this is a question or you're just baiting him. I don't know what's happening.
It can be too.
It's okay.
But
How's your
like,
blood
the
pressure?
question is like, why don't we get to see this like compatibility of this world that is important to our main character's life and these two loves that she has, platonic and romantically?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
My bad. My bad if I dropped the ball on that, Holmes. My bad.
You don't see Luke cooking. Well, there wasn't enough room on the set to have a kitchen. All that was back there was a sink, like like where you could wash dishes, and there was a basin, and that was it. There was nothing back there, so that we couldn't really. Nobody was cooking. There was no possibility of cooking.
That's amazing.
Although I love to cook. I love to cook, and I do have a cookbook coming out in fall of 2026. Yes.
This might be too much of a question. What is a title that we can look up later? Because I would.
Oh, it's already on pre-sale on Amazon. It's called Dishes from the Diner. Scott Patterson's Dishes from the Diner.
I'm gonna go bookmark that. Thank you.
Did you pay him just so you could plug the cookbook?
You know
Is that
what?
that was? That was good. It was smooth.
He used to work for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It was nice. It was good.
He got fired for being a little long-winded.
That makes sense. Yeah. Hi
Good,
there.
great guy, though. Great. Wherever he is now, they're very lucky.
Okay, I'm a little bit short, but hi, my name is Chloe. I'm so excited to see you two up here, so thank you guys for being here. I was wondering if you two had a favorite scene that you filmed together or like a favorite day of filming.
I know what you're going to say, so I'm going to say something else. I have to tell you something. The absurdity and the abstract nature of this show, the level of comedy that this show can provide is encapsulated for me in one scene. That was the first kiss, and then naked Kirk runs through it. And nobody saw that coming. You guys in the audience didn't say, oh, no, I know what's going to happen. Kirk's going to run her through naked, because of night terrors. How beautifully they set that up. And it was a nerve-wracking day on set because we wanted to do a really great job. Because it was a big moment. Everybody was aware it was a big moment. But to have that happen at the end of the scene was such a relief. Because and we felt exactly like an audience witnessing it and be completely surprised, even though we know it was scripted. Because it was so fraught with tension and wanting to deliver for the fans a great kiss, like the best kiss in television history. And we really felt this pressure. And then Sean comes on. It's like, it doesn't get better than that. So that's among my favorite memories of working with him. And there was no dialogue exchanged,
I love that scene. I do. It's great. It's funny. I don't know why I don't have any shame when I'm performing. I swear that I do in my personal life, but for some reason when I'm on camera, I really whatever it takes to get the laugh. I was told that scene stealing was a bad thing, and then they're like, "You're gonna run through naked." I'm like, all right, well, I kind of can't help it, I guess. But I love that. I love a lot of some of our dialogue scenes. I love the first date scene is a lot of fun, and the scene in that same episode where where Kirk is asking Luke to please save him if he's got night terrors, I think is a really excellent scene, too.
Thank you both.
Yeah, that scene, because it reveals character that we haven't normally seen from these two guys, right? The softer side, the fatherly, the big brother, and then the vulnerable guy who needs it. You know, it's just, it's so charming, you know? It's unexpected and great, you know?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi guys, my name is Hope, and my question is, if you as yourselves, Scott and Sean, were to be able to be friends with anybody from the cast throughout the seasons and take them on a day to Disney World, who would you take?
Are you talking about the characters?
Yes.
Okay. It's not the cat. It's not the like our fellow actors on the
Sorry, I
show. It's
misspoke.
The
it's
actual people you know,
characters.
not them, no.
Yeah. To Disneyland for the day?
Yeah. Or Disney World, I'm not picky.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a trap.
I
This is
know,
a
yeah.
trick question.
Do you have an answer? What's your answer?
What's your answer?
My answer,
Who would you like to take?
Kirk, honestly.
I think
feel like
Kirk
it would
would
have
throw a fit at some point
Well,
and
yeah,
need to
that
take
too.
a nap by like by like late afternoon. He'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to go on any more rides." I don't know. Emily, so I could sit and drink in the wherever they serve alcohol in Disneyland.
Thank you.
Can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi there.
All
What's
right.
your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Christy. Sean, I have to say I love your sweater.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
really great.
I knitted that for him on the
Oh,
plane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Multi-talented. So obviously I'm a big fan of the show. Every year I watch the entire series from start to finish, as I have done for many, many years. As such, Stars Hollow feels kind of like a second home to me. My question is, out of all of the sets in the Gilmore Girls, what's your favorite and why?
Diner. It's obvious.
Diner.
You know, it's where it kind of all sort of takes shape. It's the first scene I did with Lauren and the diner, and it's where she proposed to me. And it's where I didn't propose to her, actually. So much great stuff happened there, so it's diner for me.
I would also say the diner, actually. Yeah, I just think it's easy to navigate. If I worked more on one of the sound stages, I might say that because there was better air conditioning in there. But I didn't. I rarely ever worked on any of those. So I was always outside. Yeah, diner.
Least favorite was the town hall meetings.
Agreed. Also,
You don't want to be
also
in
agreed.
Miss
Why
Patty's.
is that?
It's 170 degrees in there.
And packed with people, and it really is just a barn in the middle of Southern California. There's with fake snow. Yeah.
Amy always, it was very predictable in the sense where if there was a Miss Patty's town meeting, right, with Taylor, and it was inevitable that I was going to, sort of sidle up to Amy and say, "Does Luke really need to be in this?" She'd go, "Yes, he does."
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Emily. I just want to say that you guys were a great inspiration to me growing up in high school. It became a family show for all of us. My question is, if Luke didn't run the diner, what kind of job of Kirk's would he want to do?
There's so many.
Kirk was a mechanic once. That's a Luke kind of job.
Yeah, maybe. Were you?
Yeah.
Did you work with?
He didn't know what he was doing at all, but
Ro-
he was
ro-
like, he had grease on himself and was wearing overalls.
That's the one. I do that job. That is definitely a Luke job. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, can someone help this cutie reach the microphone? Thank you.
My name is Zadie, and my question is, what was it like playing in Gilmore Girls?
It was wonderful. It was a lot of fun. We worked with such great people, and we had great scripts to perform because the writing was so good. And it's really special to be able to be a part of a show that so many years later, now even young people like you watch and love the show. It's really, really a special thing.
I echo that sentiments, and another thing that you'll realize as you get older is it's nice to have a steady job. And I know you can't relate to that right now, not at this very moment, but for
Nor can I.
I was like, I don't like it.
Nor can I.
To me either.
But those jobs are really hard to get, and the more time goes by, the luckier I feel having been a part of it. You know, it's quite something. And yes, the generational capture, if you will, of younger and younger audiences as time goes by is like the miracle of this show. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go on. So thank you for being a part of that new wave of fans.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hello. Oh, my name's Avery. My mom loves Gilmore Girls, and she started watching it because my sisters were watching Gossip Girl, and she wanted to get in on the conversation and misremembered it as Gilmore Girls and just watched the whole thing. That's a real story. I don't know how she could have messed it up. But she'd always watch it with dessert, so I got to ask, do you guys have a favorite dessert?
The cheesecake at the hotel's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah. It's lighter and fluffier.
What kind of cheesecake is it?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a regular, but it's kind of a lighter. Have you had it?
Well, I like a good Basque cheesecake. To me, is just as good as desserts get.
Creme brulee too.
All right.
You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was it?
Maybe both. Maybe both. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi to your mom. Yeah. Hi there.
Hi, my name's Diane. I met you both in Raleigh last year. Thanks for coming to my backyard. And I've been to a Braves game and a Flying Squirrels game. Braves was better. So there's a lot of moms on the show, and we never get to meet either of your moms, your character moms. Well, Luke's mom is dead, but if you... So if we had had the chance to meet both of your moms, either in flashback or dream sequence or some kind of crazy scene, who would you cast as your mother, any actress dead or alive?
I can answer this because I used to imagine, because I would have scenes where I would talk about my mother getting angry with me and stuff, because I lived in my mom's basement on the show. And I would always, in my head, I would picture Anne Ramsey, who in the old movie Throw Mama from the Train, played Danny DeVito's mom in that movie. Great character actress who'd been around a long time. Very stern, and that's who I would imagine as Kirk's mother.
Well, I've been very vocal about this in any kind of the new iteration of the show would be I always wanted Meryl Streep to be my mom or Miranda Richardson. Either one. Maybe they could have been sisters and they both raised me or something, you know. But those are two of my favorite actors and actresses of all time. Those two.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we have minutes left, but I want to cap the line where we are right now. So our person in the back of the line, you're going to be our last person, and we're going to try to push through all of these as quickly as possible. So hi.
Hello, my name is Mari. Every time that every time that I watch Gilmore Girls, it always gives me like this really cozy feeling. And like, you know exactly what they remind me of? They remind me of the Calico Critters. So so my question is for the both of you guys. I'm a lot more curious about Mr. Scott's. What animal or like what Calico Critters would the Gilmore Girl members be?
These are very cute little animal figurines. They're
What are
very
calico
adorable. So just pick a
critters?
very cute animal that you think, just
really
to give you guidance. Yes, yes.
A really cute animal figurine, I would say mine would be.
Yeah, but what animal would you be? A squirrel?
Flying squirrel.
Let's say, I don't know, a cheetah. Do they have those? Calico? That's a form of a cat.
We could make one for him.
can
We
make
could
a
make
cheetah.
a cute
We'll
cheetah.
probably
Cheetah.
try and make you a little cheetah one.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Good.
What about you, sir?
I think Kirk would be a ferret.
Honestly, that's
And I'm not just saying that because I play a weasel.
He
Yeah.
is very weasel-like.
Yeah.
But
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you very much, guys. Hugs and kisses, peace and love.
Thank you. Hi there.
I'm Jeanette. What would you have made at Luke's Diner, if you could?
What kind of food?
Yeah.
What would I have made when?
If you could have made anything at Luke's Diner, what would it be?
Any dish,
Any dish.
served. If I could have made it,
Or Kirk?
I would have made the whether it's breakfast, I would make eggs and bacon and sausage and toast. Lunch would be burgers and fries, and a black and white milkshake. Dinner would be probably both of those.
That sounds good.
Pancakes. Yeah. Yeah. Blueberry pancakes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Okay, so we were talking about moms. I'm actually here with my mom. Say hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Miss you. How you doing?
Yeah, I grew up watching the show with her. You know, she loves it so much. She's watched it like 20 times. And we just want to ask, you guys have such quirky, like amazing characters in this show. What was it like getting into the role of that?
You know, a lot has to do with the wardrobe. The shoes affect a lot of the behavior and inform character. The hat always did. You know, the surroundings. It's really, you know, okay, so I'm going to get a little wonky here. It's probably going to bore you. But it was so easy. So the method acting is controversial because when the great Russian Stanislavski was on his deathbed in Paris, Stella Adler was there, and she was a part of the group theater. They were forming the Actor Studio. And he had changed his mind about the need for sense memory work. Because what he stressed at the end of his life was an actor's faith, an actor's belief in the given circumstances of the piece, whether it's a play or they were talking about theater. So if you don't have that actor's faith, you can't really act the role. You have to really believe it, okay? That's what great writing does. So again, it's the writing. You believe it. You believe the words. You memorize your dialogue. You open your mouth. You say the words, and the words transport you. The words take you across the room. The words make you turn. The words do it all for you. So we had all of this guidance because the given circumstances were so believable and so powerful that it was easy to believe that you were these people. It was nothing special that I had to do to get into the character.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I would kind of agree with that. That it's that when it's working well, there's an ease to it. It's much the work is not impenetrable. It's like you start to do the character, and it just what you're doing feels right. And for me, my character is mostly comic relief on the show. Pretty much always comic relief, and it's like the show has a scope of comedy from very subtle to very broad. My character is on the far end of the broad style of the comedy. So a lot of times I think that's how I'm looking at a scene as I'm trying to hit the jokes, which is a very sort of rhythmic process, and understanding where the jokes are in a scene, and then also how far I can kind of take it to where I'm delivering, but it's also still within the the tone of what the show is. And so, I mean, that's what I'm usually looking at when I look at a scene. So,
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
thanks.
I didn't expect to discuss Stanislavski technique today. That's exciting. We took a turn. All right, we have a few minutes. If we could do this as like a lightning round for the last 6 folks. So quick questions, and we're going to try to have quick answers, and we'll get you all in.
Hi, my name is Amelia, and this question's for Sean. For Kurt's character, what was your favorite job of?
It's a tough question, but I've kind of settled on when Kirk would make movies. I mean, it's like, it's what I like to do in my personal life anyway, is make movies. But also, those are so fun. The film by Kirk, and when he's in the movie theater showing them is really, it's a blast. So that's my answer for that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Riley, and I'm a big coffee drinker, so I have to ask, working at a diner and making so much and making so much coffee, where did it all go? Was it real coffee that left everyone on set very caffeinated? And what type of coffee was it?
No, people didn't drink it. It was set coffee. Yeah. It was real coffee, but it was only heated up so that the camera could see some steam.
Okay.
Right. I think they did brew some fresh pots from time to time, and they actually did drink it. Most of the time it was water or soda or whatever the actor wanted. You can't drink coffee all day. Yeah. Yes, no, yes.
Now, I know that if I wanted to drink real coffee like that day at work, then I would say when we're shooting the scene, I tell the prop people, I'm going to take a sip of this in the scene. So then it has to be real coffee, and then they have to give you real coffee.
Yeah. As far as the brand, the cans were, old, maybe Folgers. I kind of remember those red cans on the set, and they were old. And so I think it's Folgers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi, my name's Kim. First of all, thank you, Scott, for getting me called out by my fiance for the lines. I do a lot of community theater, and I have him run it with me. And if I dropped one line or changed it in any way, I'm like, no, we got to rerun it. And so he was like, see, you do that too. And I was like, be quiet.
So you just described the difference between an amateur and a professional. An amateur does it until they get it right. A professional does it until they can't possibly get it wrong.
I love that.
It's a different level.
Well, thank you. Because the shoes thing also resonates. I'll go from like an ingenue to somebody who's supposed to be like flirty, and I'm like, I just keep coming out ingenue, and then I'm like, wait, I need heels. It's the shoes.
You know what? That was my problem early in my career
heels,
too.
Yeah.
I totally relate.
Okay, so I grew up with my sister watching Gilmore Girls, so we were really excited to see the reprisal of all of your roles. At the end of A Year in the Life, Rory comes out as pregnant, but the question is, who's the father? I think that it was confirmed at some point by the showrunner that it was most likely Logan. But as the father figure, as the brother, kind of weird uncle figure.
Did you say weird uncle?
I did say weird uncle, yeah. No, Kirk's the weird uncle. You're the father.
Oh, I'm the father.
Yeah.
Well, not the father figure. Yeah, okay, let's be very clear.
So who do you guys think was the father of Rory's child, if you don't know? And who would you have wanted Rory to have the child with?
The Wookiee.
Perfect.
So my cynical answer to that is, I don't know who it is. I'm hoping it's Logan, and I'll tell you why. Because I think they're all three bums. I think 10 years down the road and 2 kids in, 3 kids in with Logan or Jess or Dean, where's she going to get the best divorce settlement once he cheats? So she's going to come out of that with a pocket full of gold. And, you got to be practical in these situations, Uh-huh.
Thank you.
That's really romantic. Yeah, I like that. Good. All right, we have a couple of minutes. Very quick questions, very quick answers. We can get you all in.
All right. So, Scott, I know that you have a stint in like coffee roasting, I believe.
I'm sorry.
Coffee roasting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if at Luke's, what do you imagine was being served there? Just run-of-the-mill coffee, like Folgers, or something special?
Well, now that you mention it, I've had a coffee company for 10 years, Scotty P's Big Mug Coffee. And did somebody boo? Oh, it was an ooh. Okay. Oh, okay. It's like boo. And I struck a deal with Warner Brothers to make their coffees for their Gilmore line of coffees that they have. So my favorite, obviously, is the Luke's Diner blend, and it's just wonderful stuff. It's great coffee. It's grade 1 specialty coffee. It's why I don't bring it to cons and sell it, because it would cost you guys too much because of the shipping prices, and it's already expensive coffee, and I don't want to.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah, I think it's him. That's got a helmet on. It's the same guy
that helped
with
you
the
plug
cookbook.
the cookbook earlier, and now you
thought the
you
same
helped me
thing.
Plug the coffee. That's great. Good work, man. Both of you.
He's the Kirk of this panel. He just keeps coming back. All right, what's your question?
Hello, my name is Millie. My cousin is a big fan of Gilmore Girls, and I'm asking for her, is your relationship the same or different on screen? With each other?
Oh no, it's much different. Yeah, it's much different.
Yeah. No. We're friends. But I'm nothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much I'm like Kirk. I think not very much, but my mom says otherwise. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, last question.
Also, very nice to meet you guys. Thank you for coming. So there's a lot of moments when I was watching the show, and I would just be so frustrated at characters and be like, why did you do that? Did you have moments when you're reading the script ahead of time and you're like, oh God, I did that? And what did you not want to film, even though you had to do it?
The in vitro stuff in the Netflix episodes. I lobbied tirelessly to
not do it.
I just never saw him as dumb, and that's kind of dumb if he doesn't know. I have to sleep with all those women. You know what I mean? It's just like beneath.
I mean,
No, what?
Well, you were like, I'm sleeping with all these women. And it's like, I don't swing that way, but good for you.
I think they're condoning the behavior. They're excited. It's fine.
Yeah,
We're fine. We're going to move on. We're going to move on.
Of what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know that I ever did. I mean, I don't have those kinds of plot lines really with my character. I know that there were times. That was the interesting thing about doing season 7 when Amy and Dan weren't with the show anymore, was that every now and then there'd be things that were like not exactly right, and the writers did a great job of trying to making that work, but every now and then there was like a square peg in a round hole kind of situation. But for the most part,
He was pretty
Kirk's
reliable.
pretty much Kirk all the time.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy seeing Kirk. Every time he showed up, I'd be like, ooh, what next?
That's a good question. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your questions. Give our guests a big round of applause.
Thank you, everybody.
Please go see them at their booths, say hi, buy their prints. And now we are going to do a stage selfie, so you get to have a photo with our guests. So come up to the edge of the stage. Don't get on the stage. I will kick you right back off.